Good morning and happy Wednesday. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today we're going to be talking about stop feeling guilty about asking for help. And this is going to come from Brene Brown's book, Rising Strong. I'm going to combine book club and our morning motivation because I read chapter 8 and just had to share with you what I'm learning from it. Good morning, guys. Running a little bit late. It's day after book launch and I am tired. I got in bed last night and I could barely move. I was so tired. It's just been weeks and weeks of kind of pushing through, and we made it to the finish line because the book launch was yesterday, and life is going to slow down significantly. I'm going to Virginia tomorrow to be on the 700 Club on Friday morning, but other than that, life is going to slow down and I am so grateful. So thank you guys. Thank you so much for making it such a wonderful day for me. It was a quiet book launch in the sense of that I had chosen not to ask any bloggers to do anything, and we chose to just kind of do it really quietly because I just felt like, you know, this is my third book, and people know who I am, and if you want to buy this book, and if it's for you, then that's fantastic. But if it's not for you, I totally get that too. And so I just didn't want to like push and try to, I don't know, you can do all these things and these marketing things to get people to buy the book, but I just really wanted to be like, if you want to buy it, here it is. So anyway, but it was a quieter day, but what was cool about it is that those of you who bought the book, it's like you really wanted it, and that meant so much to me, and all of your just positive encouragement and everything. It's just, you are such a gift to me, so thank you. Alrighty, so if you are new, my name is Crystal Payne and I'm the founder of MoneySavingMom.com, as well as the New York Times bestselling author of Say Goodbye to Survival Mode, and then my new book, Money Making Mom, that I was just talking about, that came out yesterday, and also the creator of the 14-day online course called Make Over Your Mornings. And I am wife and mom of 3, and we live in the Nashville, Tennessee area, and I am my husband and I are self-employed entrepreneurs. It was really weird. Right before I got on, there were all these guys from a different language who followed me. So I was a little concerned that we might have an influx of people today. I don't know what it was. It was like 25 all at once. So don't ask me what that was all about. But anyway, we might have to do a little bit of blocking extra today. Okay, so today we're going to talk about stop feeling guilty about asking for help. And this came out of me reading chapter 8 of Rising Strong. Thank you for saying you love the scarf. This is my South Africa scarf, and I love it because it reminds me of South Africa. Thank you, Melissa. Okay, so chapter 8, I don't think I have my location on. Do I have my location on? I usually always turn it off. Kristen, is it on? If it's on, it shouldn't be on. Okay, so from chapter 8, this was all about giving and receiving, and I love this quote right here, and it said, connection doesn't exist without giving and receiving. We need to give, and we need to need. And I thought, we need to need. When was the last time you asked someone to help you? I really was thinking about that because, so I was raised in a family where my parents were givers and givers and givers and givers, and they just are the most diligent serving people on the planet. And so can I show that again, the quote? Is that what you're asking? Yes. Was this the quote? So connection doesn't exist without giving and receiving. We need to give, and we need to need. So good. Anyway, so my parents were just givers and givers and givers, and I was raised seeing that modeled, and I'm so grateful that they modeled that for me. I'm so grateful that they taught me how to be a servant. But here's the thing, I saw a lot of needy people as a result. And I saw a lot of people that unfortunately, I don't know that they knew how to give. They only knew how to receive. And it just felt like they were takers, and that they took so much time from my parents. And maybe this was a bad perspective or something, but I saw that and I thought, I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be that person that is needy and always asking for help and is just taking and taking and needing and needing. And so I feel like I swung the pendulum to the other side and said, I'm going to be the giver. I'm going to be the solutions girl. I'm going to be the one who is always pouring into other people. I'm going to be brave and strong and courageous. I don't need to need, because I don't want to be that needy person. But you know what? It's equally important to ask for help. And in my own life, this is something that I'm really working on. And I'm just going to be super honest with you guys. So I've told you, if you've been on my recent scopes, I've told you that it's been a little rough at our house. And there's just been some really hard situations in my life, stuff with dear friends that I can't talk about publicly, but I'll just say that it's been rough. And I kind of wanted to just keep it together and not tell anybody, because I didn't want to be that needy person. But it's been so heavy, and it's just been hurting so much. In fact, the last week, there's just so many times when I just wanted to cry, and I'm not an emotional person usually. And so on Sunday, we had our community group, and I just was super honest, and I was like, we went around to share prayer requests, and I was like, you guys, it's just been really hard. And I just shared some of what's been going on. And then on Monday, our Monday group, they asked, how's everybody doing? And I said, it's been a really hard week. And it was very hard for me to do that. And honestly, when I came away from both of those, I thought, I was the needy person. I was the needy person, and I shouldn't have done that, and I don't want to be the drama queen, and I don't want to seem like, you know, I'm needy, and I should just be pouring into other people. But I read chapter 8 of Rising Strong, and it really challenged me. Connection doesn't exist without giving and receiving. We need to give, and we need to need. She talked about over-functioners and under-functioners, and over-functioning says, I won't feel, I will do. I don't need help, I help. And I actually just wrote this to someone recently. I said, I don't want to feel like I'm needy, because I'm the solutions girl. That's what people look to me for. And so if I say, guys, I'm just struggling, I feel like I'm letting people down by saying that. The over-functioning is, I won't feel, I will do. I don't need help, I help. And I thought, that's me a lot of the time. Under-functioning is, I won't function, I will fall apart, I don't help, I need help. And we all know some of those people in our life, and so I think that because of that, we can swing the pendulum to the other side and say, I'm going to over-function. I won't feel, I will do, I don't need help, I help. But I was very challenged by what she said, and she said, when you judge yourself for needing help, you judge those who are helping. When you attach value to giving help, you attach value to needing help. The danger of tying your self-worth to being a helper is feeling shame when you have to ask for help. Offering help is courageous and compassionate, but so is asking for help. And then she talked about how when someone honestly asks for help, and it's not someone who is an overfunctioner or someone who's just we're in a healthy relationship with, and they say, I'm struggling, that she said, I trust people who will ask for help or support. If someone asks me for help, I'm more likely to trust them because they're willing to be vulnerable and honest with me. That really challenged me. When we're willing to be vulnerable and honest with people, they will trust us more. And then this quote, in a culture of scarcity and perfectionism, asking for help can be shaming if we're not raised to understand how seeking help is human and foundational to connection. We can encourage our children to ask for help. However, if they don't see us reaching out for support and modeling that behavior, they will instead attach value to never needing help. So if we never need help, that's kind of like some, this like sign of value that we wear, like, I don't need help. I'm the person who helps. I don't need help. We also send strong messages to the people around us, including our children, friends, and employees, when they ask for help, and in return we treat them differently, as if they are now less reliable, competent, or productive. The bottom line is that we need each other. And not just the civilized, proper, convenient kind of need. Not one of us gets through this life without expressing desperate, messy, and uncivilized need. The kind we are reminded of when we come face to face with someone who is in a deep struggle. And just recently, one of my friends had a really hard situation, and I called them up and I said, "How are you doing?" And they just broke down, and it was ugly sobs, and they were just sobbing and sobbing and sobbing over the situation. And I looked back as I was reading this, and I thought, in that moment, I didn't think, oh, this needy person, and feel like that. No, I thought, oh, my heart was broken for this person, and by them being honest and willing to be needy in front of me, it knit my heart together closer to them. Dependence starts when we're born and lasts until we die. We accept our dependence as babies, and ultimately with varying levels of resistance, we accept help as we get to the end of our lives. But in the middle of our lives, we mistakenly fall prey to the myth that successful people are those who help rather than need, and broken people need rather than help. Given enough resources, we can even pay for help and create the mirage that we are completely self-sufficient. But the truth is that no amount of money, influence, resources, or determination will change our physical, emotional, and spiritual dependence on others. Not in the beginning of our lives, not in the messy middle, and not at the end. So what does asking for help look like? For me, recently, that's me being honest with you all. Me being honest with our closest friends of saying, this is what's going on, and it hurts right now. Me being honest in conversations, and not just, when someone asks, how are you doing? Instead of me just saying, I'm good. Saying, no, I'm hurting right now. Now, we don't want to always be this. I'm not saying like that it's also, you can swing the pendulum to the other side and say, like, if you say I'm good, that something's wrong with you and you're not being authentic. That's not true, because there are times in my life when I am just doing wonderful, and I want to share that too. So we should be both. It's not like you're always one or always the other. But being honest in conversations, being honest with my husband. Just last night, there were two people, one was my husband, one was another friend, where I was just honest with them and saying, in these situations yesterday, I didn't feel loved, because my love language is words of affirmation. And I didn't feel loved. I know you were trying to love me by serving me and giving to me and doing these things, but I just really needed you to affirm me with your words. So me being honest and say, I need that affirmation, and I would just love for you to share it in that way. And so me being honest, my husband and I were having this conversation last night because he was not feeling loved, because his love language is quality time, and he was not feeling loved because of something that I had done. And so having that honest conversation and being authentic, it's, we need to need each other. So today my challenge is for you. Are you an over-functioner or an under-functioner? Do you need to ask for help instead of being frustrated or hurt because no one's giving it? Or do you need to ask someone if you can help them? See, it goes either way. But I think for me, because I struggle to ask for help, then I can get offended and hurt and frustrated by other people. And that was why my husband and I had this conversation, because I just said, you haven't been showing me my love language. And so instead of telling him that, I just was feeling frustrated. And so being honest and asking for that help of saying, I know you love me, and I know you want to show me that love, and here's where I'm at. So being honest. So today, do you need to ask for help, or do you need to ask someone if you can help them? That's my challenge for you and for myself, because I'm right there in this with you. This afternoon at 3:30, I'm going to do a Money Making Mom scope. I think it's going to be about 3:30. I have a meeting, so I'm hoping the meeting will be over by then. But we're going to talk about how to decide the best social media platform to focus on. So we're going to talk about all the different social media platforms: Pinterest, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Periscope. I'm going to touch on all of them and kind of talk about our strategies behind what we do with social media and why I think certain social media works better in certain situations. And so we're going to talk about that, and you can bring your questions, and I'm hoping it can be really interactive. So that's at 3:30 Central Time. I will be doing a Money Making Mom scope. So thank you so much, Keely. Thank you all so much for letting me just share from my heart today. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate you all just being a safe place for me to share. So I am so grateful for all of you, and hope that you have a wonderful day, and I will see you back here tomorrow at 7:30 a.m.